Oh hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel of Team Almara. Anyways, let's learn how to backflip, because when's a better time to learn how to backflip than when you're stuck in quarantine? But first let's go to a spot that's a bit better for flipping and stuff, because there's lots of sticks here that hurt. Let's go. Now, some tips before we start. 1, I highly recommend stretching before and even after you try. It just helps a lot, and the last thing you want to do is get hurt, especially in quarantine, because it's not like you can do anything else. So another thing I recommend, though everyone may not have access to it, is a gymnastics pad or like some sort of mat. Landing on grass can hurt sometimes, especially if you land wrong. So having a pad definitely really helps. If you don't have one like I have here, you can use like couch cushions and stuff I've seen. You can also do it with like your mattress or a spare mattress you have. You can just set that on the ground the same way you would with a mat. Another reason a mat helps is because you can do flips off of it. So if you need extra height, you can do it from here maybe to the ground, or you'd like fold it out like that, and then you go from here onto the mat. So just little things that might help you along the way. Okay, for the first couple of steps, for most of the steps actually, we won't need the mat. So get that out of here. Okay, all right, let's get started. Now, one more thing. I've taught quite a few people how to backflip, including some of my friends and also my friend Logan. He's really tall, and yeah, I taught him how to backflip. And I also taught my friend Sean how to backflip, and my friend Drew, except those two are on trampolines, but if you can do it on a trampoline, you can do it on the ground. And that's another thing. If you can do a backflip on a trampoline, that does help out a bit. You don't need to. It just lets you know what going backwards over your head feels like. But you don't need to do it. Because the way we're learning this is we're going to start by going sideways or an over your shoulder. So that leads us to our first step actually. The first step is you want to pick a shoulder that you're more comfortable going towards. So if you want to go that way or that way. Basically how you judge this is you just do a 360, and whatever way is more comfortable for you, you're going to go that way. So once you figure out what way you like to go, I can go either way, just because that's the way I have to learn certain tricks and stuff. Like I do my round-offs and fulls separate ways, so I had to learn fulls different ways and stuff. But yeah. But for this video, I'm going to be going over my right shoulder. So, the second step is, this is the part where people usually practice a lot more just because it's hard to get used to this. So, you'd sit down just like this. Right here, I'll back up. So you'd sit down just like this, and then you take the hand that you rotate towards. So if I rotate to my right, I'm gonna take my right hand, I'll put it on the ground. Except I'm gonna have it with my palm, or with my fingers pointing backwards. So just like this. So just like that. Okay, once you get into this position where you are sitting just like this with your hand on behind you and your fingers pointing backwards, you're gonna bring your hips up just like this, and you're just gonna do that a couple of times. You can move your feet out if you need to, and you actually probably will need to, but yeah. And and then you just practice that a couple times. You jump up and you throw your hips into the air. And another thing, don't just let this arm hang there. You can start with it by your side like this, and then when you squat down and throw it up, throw your arm too, just like that. So that's what you want to practice first. Okay, now the second step is you want to start jumping from that. So you want to go like that, and you really want to get as much power as you can, just like that. Now, I definitely recommend stretching your shoulder, because otherwise this will kind of hurt your shoulder. And then once you get really good at that, you'd start to try to go over your shoulder. This is probably going to be the biggest jump, in the tutorial, because I'm not really like telling you how to get to the point where you can go over your shoulder. You just kind of need to do it. So you'd start like this, and you jump as hard as you can, and you throw your hips and you throw your arms as hard as you can to get over like that. And you can use your other arm to push yourself up. So I'll do it from this angle, just like this. So I'd squat, I'm not really squatting. Yeah, so I'd go down, I'd go up just like that. Okay, once you get really good at what's called the makaku, or whatever it's called, you want to start doing it from more standing. So I don't recommend doing it just from standing right away. So you could start it from like lower. So you could do it from here. So instead of starting like that, you'd start squatting like this. And you go like that. Now, one thing I know that I know very well is people going just straight to the side, just like that. A big thing is that you do not want to put your second hand down. So you do not want to do that. So like here, I'll show it again. So you don't want to do that, because then that forces you to throw sideways instead of up. And you want to throw more up right now. So that's one thing that helps, is make sure to not put this hand down. I know it can be hard, but you just got to work at it. So you've gotten past the makaku, at least somewhat. It can be a little janky. Now, and you've started trying it from squatting, just like this. Oh. But yeah. So basically you just want to get really good at that. You want to practice that. Okay, now, from there, you want to slowly start working your way more straight up. So if you're squatting like this, maybe squat like this. Just like that. And after you get it from here, maybe try it from here. And actually, if you put your hand down like that, that's perfectly okay. Now you've gotten to the point where you're straight up and you're kind of doing it like that. And you'll notice that when you do that, you really want to put the second hand down, which you should. Once you get straight up, you really want to start putting the second hand down, because if you don't, you could hurt your shoulder and stuff. So now we're at the point where it's a back handspring. So at this point, you can still go over your shoulder a little, but you want to put this hand down too. So you want to try to go as straight over as you can, but to the point where it's not scary. And you want to try something like this. Like that. It can be sideways, it doesn't matter if it's, or it can be crooked, it can't be completely sideways. But yeah, it doesn't have to be straight back. So once you get that back handspring down, then that's really good. Now, I know I've just kind of jumped straight from like sitting down to doing a back handspring, but you guys can rewatch this as many times as you need and take as long as you need. Because sometimes you aren't going to land it in just one day. I know I didn't. It took me over a year to get backflips on grass. Yeah, I started doing them around late 7th grade, which is like May of 2018. That's when I started doing them on spring floor, and it took me up to March of 2019 to get it on grass. And then it took me up to September 2019 to get it consistently on grass. So it might take a bit, but you just gotta push through. Future Jeremy cutting in right here. I'm editing the video right now, and I just came across the part that you guys just watched. And I know it sounds really discouraging that it took me like a year to get it on grass. It won't take you that long. That was just obnoxiously long, and that's because I didn't have a teacher to guide me. It was basically just me throwing myself into a backflip without any sort of guidance. So yeah, don't let that discourage you. It's not going to take you that long. I learned it probably the slowest anyone in the world learned it. Okay, so now we're at the back handspring part. So you might be a little crooked, so I just recommend working on that until you can go straight up. It's all a matter of just working it until it's perfect. So now you're at the point where you're doing back handspring. now is when the mat really comes into play. Or now is when you can bring the mat into play. And actually, you can even bring the mat into play before you start doing back handspring. In fact, I recommend that. Yeah, so now you're doing back handsprings comfortably. So it's really just a matter of practice. Yeah, like I said earlier, just a matter of practicing. Just gotta practice, practice, practice. And now it's gonna get kind of vague because there's really no way to explain it. But you just want to start jumping higher. So when you do the back handspring, you're jumping pretty much straight back because you want to get your hands to the ground as quick as possible. Like that. With the backflip, that is not at all what you want to do. You want to jump as high as you can. So slowly just start trying to take your hands away and jumping higher. Tips to jump higher is when you do it, you want to throw your arms all the way up. Squat down and throw your arms all the way up, just like that. And another thing, when you do a handspring, you probably throw your head just like that. So you don't want to throw your head. It seems like it would help your rotation, but it doesn't. It really, really hurts it. My friend Logan, when I was teaching him, he would constantly throw his head back and he wouldn't really get over. He'd land like this. And then I told him not to throw his head back and he landed it like 3 tries later. So yeah, just all tips of trying to get higher. So yeah, drills to jump higher include things like just jumping like that. And you really want to swing your arm all the way up. You want to get them all the way up here. You don't want to stop them right here, or right here. All the way up. Just like that. So you can practice that a couple times. And again, don't throw your head back like that. You want to keep your head tucked in. It seems like it would be counterintuitive to do that, but it helps a lot. Okay, so now you're at the point where you're starting to take your hands away from the back handspring to try to get a backflip. So again, just start trying the back handsprings, but instead of going straight back, you're gonna jump up, all right? Now, at this stage, or at the previous stage, your hands were holding you up. Now your hands are just there for support. So it might look something like this. Might look like that. So it might look like that. You might not be landing it anymore, but it's good that you're not using your hands anymore to keep you up. So then you slowly want to start working your height up a bit more. And again, it could look like that. You just need to keep working it until you get higher. Now, for people who have pads or who have a mattress, what you can do is you can fold it up just like that. So you have a ledge to flip off with. Now, of course, you're not going to have it this because then you're just going to probably jump over it. But yeah, it helps. So you can stand right here and you can just send it really. I mean, that's what a lot of a backflip is. 90% of a backflip is fear. So as long as you can get over the fear, which the handsprings and Kaku method should have helped with, so even if you're just doing it off of like bricks or your staircase, as long as it's onto something like grass, I don't recommend learning it on concrete. Yeah, even at like a park, if you're at like a park and you're doing it off of the playground, as long as you're not too high, because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Yeah, so now you're here, and you just kind of, you can do that. Again, you don't have to try to land it. At this point, you're trying to get over the fear of doing backflips. So, you have a ledge, just get used to this. If you don't, you just really got to work with what you have. Again, all you're doing is just trying to work height. So, you just go like that a ton of times. You get it perfectly. Now, at this point, you should be at the point where you're almost landing it on flat ground. You might be landing it like that, and then you might be going to your hands, you might just be landing on your knees. Again, really make sure you're squatting down. I'm going to show you a clip of one of my earliest attempts at a backflip, and I'm going to show you what I did wrong with it. Okay, as you can see, I'm barely bending my knees at all. Or I'm not bending my knees at all. So when I jump up, I'm getting no power. I'm also throwing straight back. You want to throw up. You want to go straight up. Or at least try to go jump straight up. So yeah, that's a really big thing. And another really big thing that helps me is a step back. So you want to pick a dominant foot. You should know what your dominant foot is. If not, just pretend to kick a soccer ball. Whenever one's more comfortable is your dominant foot. I'm ambidextrous, so I can do it with either one. But I'm going to just keep consistency, and I'm going to go with my right leg. So you take your dominant foot, which I'm going to just say is my right leg, and I'm going to step out just like that. So I'm in a staggered stance, just like that. And then from here, you would, or at least this is how I do it. So you're in a stance just like this, and then you step back into it. So one thing that really helps with the step back is if you have your hands like up here, then when you step back, you go like that, and jump and throw your arms up, just like that. So yeah, and now using a step back, you should be able to get to something like this. And another really good thing that helps, I know it doesn't seem like it would help too much, but tucking. When you tuck, you want to make sure that you're bringing your knees to your hands, not your hands to your knees. And one thing that helps with tucking is if you open your legs. You don't need to spread it like really, really wide. Just open your legs a bit, see if you can. Because it really helps with rotation. So yeah, it's just kind of a matter of putting everything together and doing everything. I know it might be scary at first. Trust me, you can do it. I know you can do it. So yeah, now you're using step backs and you're getting really close. So at this point, it's all up to you. I don't need to do anything. You just need to practice and practice and practice until you can get it. So again, that's just all a point of practice. So with these tips and stuff, you should be able to get it. So yeah, that's gonna be the tutorial. I know it's a lot to take in, but we have all quarantine to practice, and yeah, I hope you guys can get it. And also, I'm wearing a third shirt because I forgot to film an outro, and I'm lazy, so this took me like 5 days to edit. So this is coming out a solid week after it should have, because I'm massive brained. Yeah, that's going to be the video. Also, don't forget to check out my channel because it's pretty good. If you want some solid 3 out of 10 flipping content, you should go check out my channel. There'll be a link in the description. You can also just look up this on YouTube. Yeah, that's gonna be the tutorial. So good luck. And hopefully we'll be able to get the team together after quarantine to film some videos that were more suited for the channel. But since we're all separated, we just decided to film tutorials, because what else are we supposed to film other than like solo sessions, which we probably will do. But yeah, make sure to hit the subscribe button because there'll be lots of videos coming out, hopefully, depending on how committed we are. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Peace out.